Hi everyone, Catherine here from Ink Finger Cat, back with another Scrapping Saturday video. This time I am using up old papers, including that gorgeous scripty Maggie Holmes paper I have attempted to use many times and kept putting back because I've been hoarding it, stroke not sure how to use it. The photos are photos from our holiday in Devon. This is a most gorgeous place, like a real hidden gem called Stoke Gabriel, and it was just a short walk from where we were staying and I say a short walk, probably a couple of miles from where we were staying, but it was just like heaven on earth. It was the most glorious place, and you can see there the skies just so blue. We had the best weather. So I had printed my papers off into little square, my photos into little squares, and I turned it into like a film strip type feeling in terms of it being long and thin as one of the panels. And I've mounted that onto this wood grain. And this is me trying to work out, did I want to use the big picture or the little picture? And I ended up using the little picture of me at the place called the River Shack, which is where we ate our lunch, overlooking this amazing mill pond. Which is at the, it's a mill pond off the River Dart, which is what Stoke Gabriel is kind of built around, and it's just, genuinely heaven on earth. So, that Maggie Holmes paper I have had for many, many years, and I have hoarded it, and I've loved it, and I've never been able to use it. As soon as I tore into it, which took some bravery, it was fine, dead easy to use, not a problem. But yeah, I'd really struggled because it's so beautiful, but the words on it are so big and so legible. I think that's where I'd struggled. Kind of, I wanted to read it, and therefore I was really struggling with it. The other paper is an old Stampin' Up paper, and it's got like the Eiffel Tower on the other side, which I think people might have seen in a previous Scrappin Saturday video. I did one of my daughter in Paris. So the other side is that sort of like lacy, sort of muted teal colour, shall we call it? I don't really know what colour to call that. And then I have started going through my embellishment box. Now, the reason these papers have all come together is because I've actually created page kits. So you will have seen at the very beginning, it was all in like a little pouch. I went through and took about 6 of these page kit pockets that I've just still got after emptying them from my Hey Little Magpie page kits. After using them all up, I've kept the pockets, and I basically created 6 page kits for myself. Now, they're not proper kits. I've not put embellishments in or anything along those lines, but I have teamed some photos and some papers together in order to make it an easy start for me when I do my crafting. A little bit like my pattern paper that I do over on my blog on the 1st of the month. I always do pattern paper. And this year I've had little pouches of the pattern paper along with like a digital stamped image or something along those lines in there with them. So again, it's just a bit of a grab and go. The starting point is there. But it is only the starting point, and then I have to go through the embellishment kit to start pulling things together. So I have been through embellishments. I've still got a 49th and Market kit of embellishments, like die cuts off to the left-hand side there, that I do grab into a little bit before I finished. But I've basically created my general idea of how I want the layout to be. I've stuck together the photo cluster 2 elements so that they are done with their layers, and now it's a case of starting to put it all together. And I wanted it to be really ruffled up on the left hand side for those torn pieces, so I put quite a lot of effort into ruffling those up on each of the edges. And then this one I don't quite do right, so I have to tear it back off again and re-glue, and I get my fingers all stuck in all of the tape. But yeah, again, ruffling it up really well. I decided against then adding any mixed media. I was going to do a little bit of stenciling to go behind the photos, but I decided this covered, apologies, my husband's just sneezing very loudly in the other room. I decided that this just covered enough of the page that I didn't want to add any more pattern into it. Once I'd got all of my embellishments, it was already going to look quite busy. So I kept the background as just the plain white. And then I decided to layer up the photograph that was me, the single photo, on foam, just so it's got that bit of dimension above the rest of it. And I just use bits of craft foam, children's craft foam when I'm doing it. These leaves are from, are the chipboard shapes from I think it's the Bird Song Yeah, I think it's Birdsong, 49th Market. I've started to add the journaling in on that little tab just to say where we were. And then I decided to take a little bit of that ticket tab, and I'm going to raise it up on foam a bit, but I'm also going to, I've punched a hole in it with my crocodile, and I'm going to add a little bit of the wax thread because I really like it when I've got thread going across the page. I think I've totally taken Sarah Davies, Hey Little Magpie Sarah Davies. I've totally taken some of her style ideas for this, and I just love it. So thank you very much, Sarah. I will tag her in the description box below, so you'll be able to go see her. She's got amazing scrapbook pages on her channel that she's shared. My title is going to be Time to Be Grateful. I don't end up adding the to be until the very end because I almost forgot to do it because I used some letter stickers to do that and I hadn't got those out at the point that I was doing all of this. I've added in the little birds from Birdsong, even though there's no real birds on the actual layout. We saw lots of birds, not these kinds of birds, admittedly. They were more water birds, you know. So we saw a lot of birds, though, that day. I've added in some hearts and a few little word type things. Again, they're from different kinds of kits, but it works. And then I realised I'd not got very much space in order to add my journaling, but I managed to squeeze it in going down, and then just to finish off, I popped the date up there. So my journaling's sort of a little bit squished, but it works, it's fine. And there I am, I'm just going through a few sequin kits from the embellishment kits that Hey Little Magpie I get every month. This is one from May, but it got these sort of like tealy coloured stripy sequins, which sounds a bit odd, but they just worked with the colours of the page, and I thought, no, I'm going to pick those out of the sequin mix. So it's not a mix, it's just literally, and I've just added 9 of those onto the page, and you can see there, that's me struggling to put them all back in the pouch, and decide, I think I'm done. So I have a good old stare at it, and then remember, oh no, hang on, I've not finished off my title. So here we go. There was my little letter stickers to say, time to be grateful. Certainly grateful for the holiday we had. It was gorgeous, and for the hidden gem that was Stoke Gabriel that we found. I mean, we knew where we were going, but, you know, we found on our journey. Please do hit the like button if you've enjoyed this. Subscribe to see future videos. I don't know what else is coming up, but there'll be stuff coming up, both card making and scrapbooking. And until next time, I'm very grateful for you for watching. Obviously, thank you so much. And until next time, bye bye.